You walk away from the counter, victorious. You feel smart, savvy, like you just outmaneuvered the system. In your hand is the large popcorn, the one you initially dismissed as overpriced. But you found a loophole, the obvious error in their pricing that made the large an undeniable bargain. You're enjoying the first few handfuls, basking in the glow of a logical, rational decision well made. And then, a cold feeling begins to creep in. The logic starts to feel a little too perfect. The choice was a little too easy. You look back at the menu, and the pieces click into place with the chilling precision of a vault lock. The small was $3. The large was $7. But the medium was $6.50. It hits you. You weren't smart. You were steered. The choice wasn't yours. It was designed for you, engineered by a force you never saw coming. You haven't just been sold popcorn. Your brain has just been breached, your decision-making process infiltrated and controlled. This wasn't a transaction. It was a heist, and the target was your own mind. What you just experienced at that concession stand is a sophisticated form of psychological warfare. It's a cognitive exploit known as the decoy effect or the attraction effect. In our field, we refer to it by its technical name, asymmetric dominance. It's a method of corrupting your sense of value by introducing a compromised third option. Its entire purpose is to give one of the original options an unfair, irresistible advantage. This is a weaponized pricing strategy, engineered to covertly nudge you from a sensible choice to a more expensive one. The entire operation hinges on that third, seemingly illogical option, the decoy. The decoy is the inside man. Its job is not to be chosen. The theater has no operational desire to sell a medium popcorn for $6.50. That option is a ghost in the machine, planted with one objective: to make the large popcorn look like the most brilliant financial decision you could possibly make. Let's analyze the breach. When you only had two variables, the $3 small and the $7 large, your brain was in a state of conflict, weighing two distinct concepts: cost versus volume. It's a difficult calculation because our brains are notoriously bad at evaluating value in a vacuum. We require context. We function through comparison. But the moment the $6.50 medium decoy appears, the entire cognitive framework is compromised. Your focus is no longer on the difficult comparison of small versus large. Your brain, seeking the path of least resistance, immediately locks onto the easiest comparison available: the medium versus a large. For a mere 50 cents more, the increase in volume is substantial. The medium is exposed as a strategically terrible deal, which, in a stunning act of mental jiu-jitsu, makes the large appear to be a fantastic one. The decoy provides your brain with a clean, simple justification for a decision that felt complex and fraught with conflict just moments before. It's a neurological shortcut, and it is being ruthlessly exploited. Now that you understand the mechanics of the exploit, you're likely running diagnostics, scanning your own memory banks for instances where your choices were not entirely your own. This strategy is so potent because it operates below the threshold of conscious awareness. I need your intel. Report your own sightings of the decoy effect in the comments below. Where have you seen this tactic deployed? And while you're down there, engaging with the like and subscribe buttons provides this channel with the resources needed to fight the algorithm's own psychological games. Your engagement is critical to our mission. This is not theoretical. It's a documented, repeatable exploit. Perhaps the most famous clinical demonstration of the decoy effect was executed by behavioral economist Dan Ariely, using the subscription architecture of The Economist magazine. He presented his first control group, 100 students at MIT, with two distinct choices: a web-only subscription for $1.59, a print and web subscription for $125. Faced with this binary choice, the results were predictable. 68 of the students chose the logical, economical option, the web-only plan. Only 32 chose a more expensive package. But then, Ariely initiated the attack. He introduced the decoy to a new group of 100 students. They were presented with three options: a web-only subscription for $1.59, a print-only subscription for $125, a print and web subscription for $125. Now, which of these options is functionally useless? It's the print-only subscription. for the exact same price. You could have both print and web access. Who would ever consciously choose it? The data confirmed its role. 0 students selected the decoy, but its presence catastrophically altered the battlefield. In this second trial, a staggering 84 students chose the most expensive option, the print and web combo. Only 16 opted for the cheap, web-only plan. Let that sink in. By deploying a completely undesirable phantom option, the economist could engineer a complete reversal preference. A 68 to 32 split in favor of the cheap option was transformed into an 84 to 16 landslide for the expensive one. The decoy, the choice that nobody wanted, made the premium package feel like such an undeniable value that it completely hijacked the decision-making process of some of the brightest students in the country. It was a masterclass in neurological infiltration. This strategy extends far beyond simple consumables and publications. It is a foundational principle in the tech sector, and Apple has refined its deployment into an art form. Analyze Apple's operational procedure for a new iPhone launch. A subject is never presented with a single choice. They are funneled into a carefully constructed product line, where each model is strategically priced to escalate the target spending. Review the iPhone 14 series. The price points were approximately $799 for the standard iPhone 14, $899 for the 14 Plus, $999 for the 14 Pro, and $1,099 for the 14 Pro Max. Let's assume you initiate contact with the standard $799 model. It's a capable device, but the screen dimensions may feel inadequate. Your focus is then guided to the iPhone 14 Plus at $899, which offers a larger screen and superior battery life. But then, your attention is drawn to the iPhone 14 Pro for $999. It may revert to the smaller screen size, but offers a significantly upgraded camera system and a faster processor. Suddenly, your cognitive comparison shifts. You are now weighing the Pro against the Plus. For only $100 more, you acquire a substantial technological advantage. And then, you are presented with a final objective, the iPhone 14 Pro Max for $1,099. It integrates all the advanced features of the Pro, plus the larger screen and battery life you were initially seeking. That final $100 escalation from the Pro to the Pro Max now feels completely logical and justified. You entered the engagement considering an $800 device, and now find yourself rationalizing a $1,100 expenditure. Each model in the lineup functions as a decoy for the next, making every incremental price jump feel like a calculated, intelligent choice. This architecture is ubiquitous in technology. Laptop manufacturers deploy it with storage tiers, pricing them with surgical precision to make the next upgrade seem like a bargain. You'll be presented with a base model, a slightly improved model for a significant price increase, and then a top-tier model for just a little more than the middle one. That middle option is a decoy, designed to make the final leap to the premium tier feel small and rational. The decoy effect is hardwired into the very DNA of the digital subscription economy. Streaming services, software-as-a-service corporations, and media outlets have become masters of using decoys to guide you into their preferred, high-margin revenue streams. Examine the pricing matrix of a service like Spotify. You're often presented with a 3-tiered structure. An individual plan, a duo, or mid-tier plan for 2 users, a family plan for up to 6 users. The duo plan is frequently priced suspiciously close to the family plan. The escalation from individual to duo may be substantial, but the jump from duo to family is engineered to be surprisingly small. This is not a miscalculation. The duo plan serves as the decoy, making the family plan appear to be an incredible value proposition, even if you only have 3 or 4 potential users. The subject ends up paying for a service designed for 6 because the decoy framed it as the most logical, value-driven choice. Software as a service, SaaS. Companies are also experts in this domain. They will offer a basic, pro, and business plan. The basic plan is often deliberately crippled. The pro plan, the intended target, contains all the desirable functionalities. Then, they introduce a business plan at a much higher price point, loaded with enterprise-level features a typical user will never touch. In this configuration, The business plan functions as a decoy in a different, but equally powerful way. It is so prohibitively expensive that it makes the pro plan look like a reasonable, sensible middle ground option. This exploits a related cognitive bias known as the compromise effect or center stage effect, where our brain instinctively gravitates toward the middle option when faced with uncertainty. By manufacturing an absurdly expensive top tier, corporations make their true target, the second most expensive option, feel like a safe, intelligent compromise. You have been briefed on the exploit. Now, how do you defend against it? How do you ensure your choices are your own, not the product of a corporate psychological operation? The asset is this. Awareness is a primary countermeasure. Once you can see the architecture of the trap, its power to influence you diminishes dramatically. Here is your defensive protocol. First, define your objective before you are exposed to the options. Before you approach the point of sale, conduct a needs assessment. How much popcorn do I actually require? If the genuine answer is not much, then the small is the only logical choice. By anchoring your decision to your authentic needs, you can override the artificial comparisons a decoy is designed to create. Second, be vigilant for the three-option array. The decoy effect is most potent in a triad structure: a target, a competitor, and a decoy. When you see this configuration, pause. Initiate a threat assessment. Identify the decoy. Which option is priced to create an illogical value proposition? Once you have identified the decoy, mentally delete it from the equation. Now, reevaluate the remaining two choices in isolation. Does a more expensive option still feel like an undeniable bargain? Frequently, the illusion will shatter. Third, run the numbers. Do not rely on surface-level price comparisons. Calculate the unit price, the price per ounce, the price per gigabyte. You will often discover that the decoy middle option has the worst unit price, while the large is only marginally better value than the small. This simple act of logical calculation can break the spell and ground your decision in objective reality, not manipulated perception. Finally, interrogate your gut feelings. If a deal feels like a no-brainer, it's often a signal that your cognitive biases are being triggered. Take a moment and run a simulation of anticipated regret. Ask yourself, will I resent this expenditure later? Will I regret acquiring more than I can possibly use? Research shows the simulation can be a powerful enough countermeasure to override the decoy's influence and lead to more sovereign choices. The decoy effect is one of the most pervasive psychological exploits in the world because it is invisible and brutally effective. It preys on your brain's inherent evolutionary drive to find shortcuts, to justify its choices with minimal cognitive load. It makes you feel intelligent and rational, while in reality, your decision was reverse engineered for you from the very beginning. But now, you are no longer an unwitting target. You possess the intelligence to see the system. You know how to identify the phantom option planted to manipulate you. The next time you're acquiring an asset, subscribing to a service, or upgrading a device, you'll be able to see the architecture of the trap. And armed with this knowledge, you can break free from the script, assert your cognitive autonomy, and choose what is truly best for you, not what is best for their bottom line.